Today we take a look at a deck that ran me through the diamond ladder with ease right into the mythic top 1700. We are looking at an aggro deck, and I know what you're thinking when you hear aggro. You think soldiers, you think mono red. Those decks are boring and played out, and I get it. Today we're playing a Boros build, and the build around here today is Queen Kayla. If you don't know, this is a 3-mana creature that comes in, and on turn 4 you can actually tap it, pay the 4 mana to dump off your entire hand of cards, playing any permanents that cost 1, 2, or 3 mana for no mana whatsoever, placing them onto the battlefield, and then you also get to refill your entire hand, which is absolutely insane if you build around this card correctly, which we did because our entire deck consists of only creatures of mana values 1, 2, and 3. So we're going to get big hits off Queen Kayla. We've got a really fun training package with the Hopeful Initiate and the Olenbach. Every time they train, Olenbach's going to be exiling creatures off the battlefield, and they're both going to be getting 1/1 counters. And that's important because we run Baird in this deck. Baird is a 2-mana creature that's going to spit out 1/1 soldiers every single time your turn ends and you have a creature with a higher base power and toughness than when it started, which works really good with Shivian. Shivian's a dragon that comes in and immediately has base power and toughness higher than it's starting because it starts with 0/0, and when it comes in, no matter how much mana you pump into it, it then determines how many 1/1 counters are placed onto it. So the combos and synergies in this deck are actually really good. The deck goes really wide, it goes really fast, and like I said, we took this thing to Mythic with ease, so I'm sure you guys are gonna have fun with this one. But before we jump into it, at the end of today's video, there'll be a full deck breakdown, so stick around for that. In the meantime, in the links below, there's a full deck list, and if you guys enjoy content just like this, if you wouldn't mind giving the video a like, subscribe, all that good stuff helps out an absolute ton, and I would greatly appreciate it. With that being said though, guys, enjoy today's video. I hope to see you here back at the end. Until then, peace out. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today is an exciting day because we are going to be making it to Mythic, and I can almost guarantee you that is going to happen. We are 3 games away currently, and we are running a build that is very powerful, very fast, and just very consistent all around. We've had some really good win percentages with this thing. It's a Boros aggro deck, and it goes very hard, and it has only creatures in the build. We're running out Queen Kayla, which is a really fun card that I'm super excited about. It's a card that this whole deck was conceived around, and I think you guys are going to enjoy it. But thanks for watching, and thanks for clicking on today's video, man. Let's see what we can do. Right now, we're up against another Boros deck. Actually, Mardu Reanimator, I would imagine. Little Mardu Reanimator action. Okay, let's make their reanimation spells cost a little bit more, and let's go ahead and make it to where their Rafine's Informant does not have a good attack into us. We can follow that up with the Brutal Cathar. We do have to keep in mind though, if we Brutal Cathar this, that it can come back and connive again. So on second thought, I might just want to attack and try to hit it with the Seat of the Empire. We have these dual lands acting as you know, removal spells as well, so let's go ahead and get those out of the way. This is going pretty good for us so far. The opponent didn't hit a 3rd land drop here. They were hoping maybe the connive was going to get them that land drop, which clearly they missed, and now their creature's dead. So there it is. Yep, nice and easy. They kept a very bad hand, unfortunately. A 2-lander. Thought the connive would get him out of the woodworks, but did not. Very fast first game. Less than 2 minutes down, and we've already got a W. Let's go. Oh man, that was easy. That's why you don't keep 2-landers, unfortunately. It happens all the time to me too. I know the pain. Man, I'm excited though, because you know, we could end up with a number here today, you know, at the end of this video. I'm really hoping. I don't know, I've never really been to Mythic this fast as far as 10 days in. I typically take my time getting there, playing some fun things, so it's kind of nice to, you know, see what happens here. Maybe get a little more competitive. I get to go first. It's doable. It's not great, I'm not gonna lie. Intrepid Adversary on 2 is not ideal. There's a lot of things I'd like to get down before that and play that later to pump the squad, but you know what, it's not the worst thing. It's got a high power, so it does trigger things like the training on the Olenbach. So if we can be quick enough, we might be able to answer their threats as they come down. In a perfect world, obviously we get down to, you know, Intrepid, and then Olenbach comes in after they play their first spell, and then we exile it immediately. Some pretty cool sleeves. I'm guessing they're a Jund player based on their sleeves and their avatar. Okay, we get a Baird, which is interesting. I think that's a fine play. I think Baird's a fine play here because if the Olenbach trains, we can go ahead and then start triggering the 1/1s. It's definitely looking like Jund. Okay, so the opponent's running werewolves. All right, let's go and get this down so we can go start training as soon as possible. Pass the turn. We don't want to give up the ability to gain these 1/1s. I wouldn't mind dropping an adversary on them here on this next turn. It looks like they're going to remove the Baird, which is kind of interesting. I would have definitely gone for the Olenbach there, but to each their own, I guess. They may end up regretting that. Unless, of course, they have a handful of removal. We'll see. This thing can destroy artifacts and enchantments. Not a problem with us. We have a great card with the Cavalier coming in with haste. Which means we can go ahead and just take this out of the way. Excuse me. Coming through. And if it does happen to turn to nighttime, we have a pretty good play ourselves with the Cavalier, obviously. And, you know, we get the 1/1 counters at least, so. We get to train one more time, though, so there goes the Tovalar. That's another great creature for us to steal. Not to mention we can keep producing damage, which is even better. Our curve is going extremely well now. I'm super happy that, you know, we drew into the early 2-drop with the Baird, so we didn't have to waste that adversary. Would have been such a waste. All right, so there's the scoop. Another easy dub. I'm not gonna lie, if they had something to spot remove that Olenbach, we would have been in trouble. But Olenbach is busted against another opponent who's trying to, you know, tempo out these creatures and curve out really nicely. The Olenbach just keeps eating their value every single turn, which is so good. But man, we are very close to Mythic. Let's go. I'm not gonna lie, getting a little nervous because once I do get to Mythic, it does make things like making videos a bit harder because I do like to experiment my decks on the ladder, and so I'm gonna have to move over to the play queue when experimenting my deck ideas, which is a little trickier for me because you don't get a full like idea on what you're gonna be running into when you actually go ranked. So it makes play testing my decks a little bit trickier. Not being able to just run it in diamond and, you know, caring less about my losses, but it's all good. It's all fun, and I'm really excited. So it's a nice, fun new endeavor. Opening hand here, beautiful. I love the Kumano into the Baird. The value train on that is so insane. I don't know if we did that the first game or not, but if you didn't see this yet, this is gonna be really nuts. Check this out. Especially going first, the opponent's gonna have a hard time dealing with all this extra value we're about to get. Oh, but they do show us some swamps, so good chance they may have something for removal here. But here comes the Baird, and it triggers immediately for the 1/1, and now we got 4 power on the field with a Kumano about to transform. I really hope we can find a back-to-back land situation here so I can get a Kumano down and then follow it with the adversary to pump. That's fine. Not the worst thing ever. Let's do this again. And let's hope the opponent doesn't run any sweepers because we are full on committing here and creating another 1/1. Now the Hopeful Initiate can train at least 2 times, which is also great. Looks like they're gonna kill it though. They highlighted it there for a second. Oh, Path to Peril. I knew it. I knew we might have been in trouble there with that. That's unfortunate. All right, well, at least we have the Banala, which does have indestructibility, and it is coming in with a bit more power here. And it can scry us into our lands, so all good things here. It just kind of stinks. That's kind of the perfect card right there for the matchup. Kind of got screwed over a bit there. Dang, we had such a good start too. Such a good start. Path to Peril is a beast of a card though. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the Graveyard Trespasser. As far as discarding though, I am gonna drop the Cavalier, which does suck. It's a very good card and you don't want to give up on that, but unfortunately the adversary is going to be worth more in the long run because we have potentially 4 mana coming up here and we can pump the squad. Both cards here are very good though. All right, the opponent's down to 10. Invoke Despair. I'm not gonna lie, I thought that was another Path to Peril. I got really scared. They look very similar, the artwork, the purple purple hue. All right, we should be good now. This should be a pretty easy closeout, I hope, as long as there's not another sweeper. Auto pay this. Enlist, attack, enlist the Brutal Cathar. And, ooh, another one. Might have to pass on the Olenbach again here. Down to 3. Do they have the sweeper? Moment of truth. Hopefully not. It does only hit power or mana value 2 or less, so I would still have my Brutal Cathar and Adversary. That's fine. Totally fine. They have another spot removal. They're gonna need it. Shieldred, that's not gonna be enough. Not enough for the opponent. That's gonna be game. Good GG's for the opponent here, and on to the next one, ladies and gentlemen. We did it. We did it. I'm telling you, this deck is a serious powerhouse threat, man. It really is. It's been cruising along diamond, no problem for me. So I hope you guys can find just as much success off of this thing. It has been great. Did we do it though? I can't remember. We did. Awesome. We're in Mythic. All right. So, moment of truth. Let's go see what our number is real quick before I get to the next game. I love just checking out where we land, especially on the 10th of the month. I don't know. Could be a number. 98. Darn it, not a number. Let's go ahead and get that number though before the end of the video. Man, we have some serious grinders in this game. People get into Mythic quick these days. I thought this was pretty quick the way we got in there, but man, people are just going for that #1 spot, huh? All right, we're going against numbers though right away. Let's see. We got we have a good turn 1, 2, and 3. If we find a land, this could be really solid. So let's just all together pray for that extra land drop, huh? Oh man, we're against soldiers going second. You hate to see it. You hate to see it. It's not necessarily the worst matchup. It's just that you don't want to go second against soldiers. Soldiers is about as perfect of an aggro deck as you can get, and going first is almost always going to get them a win. But we will see if we can pull this out. Pretty good start for them, not gonna lie. Pretty good start. No blocks. All right, we have a pretty good hand here though, leading into the queen potentially next turn, and then after that we discard our hand. Hopefully we find a good 2 and 1 drop on the next 2 pools. I mean, if we get a good 2 and a good 1 drop, we've got a really good situation brewing, because the queen can just get us a value train going. But this is about the time where they start throwing their flyers down, which really are the cards that are going to give us the most problems, is these flyers. And Thalia is not doing a whole lot for us because they're more of a creature-based deck here. Wow. All right. Yikes. Okay. Gonna have to eat that, unfortunately. That is tough. That is unfortunately very tough. All right, we didn't get a 2-drop or 1-drop on that pull, so that's gonna be not good. Yikes. Okay. We kind of had a feeling this was not going to go our way though. Like I said, you know, Azorius Soldiers, one of the best aggro decks you can have, and not to mention they went first and they double veteran. I mean, it is what it is. Like, if we can somehow get a good 2-drop, wow, they didn't attack into me. That is very strange. That is highly unusual. All right, there's not a ton of value to be had here, but we are going to still pull the trigger on this. There is still a little bit of value with the Olenbach. We could put the Devastator down, but there's no point. It's a 0/0, so it will die right away. It's only a good pull there if we have like an adversary down already. All right, let's go with no attacks. Reinforcements is pretty good, especially because they're both 3/3s. I had a feeling they had something there. I mean, 3 mana, I was like, there's no way they don't have anything here, but yep, here it comes. I knew they were, I don't know why they didn't attack that last time. They really would have been pressuring me for lethal here, but didn't matter. Didn't matter. The Vanguard, just a broken card, gives every creature they have flying once they're attacking in with, you know, 5 or more creatures. So it is what it is. Not terrible though. You know, we were on a run there for a minute. Let's keep it going though. Well, it is what it is. You know, soldiers, one of the best out there, and going second didn't help. It is what it is. Man, soldiers is something I didn't play from day one. I wish I would have played it really early on just to try it out, but once a deck has been played out as much as it has, like, I just don't want to, I don't really want to mess with it. But it is a very good deck, man. It's a very good deck. Those the flying soldiers are really what make that deck so special too, because giving your whole squad flying, or even, you know, whenever you attack, creating even more soldiers, it gets out of hand really fast. It is a very hard deck to beat unless you're running some sort of sweeper spell, which we definitely are not in this build. I get to go first. I have a pretty good start. Hopefully we find that third and fourth land drop, but it's kind of asking a lot. Mishra command in the sleeves, running swamps. They have a 1-mana spell. Is it Evolve Sleeper? No. Wow, they actually get to pull something too, because I have all creatures, so they get their pick of the litter. Hopefully they don't take the queen. I really want the queen. It doesn't really matter what they take except for the queen. Just don't take that. All right, that's fine. Shivian can be our 2-drop. I would have liked to have kept that, but Shivian is a fine 2-drop. We go for 1, and then the second 1/1 counter from the Kumano goes onto it. And I just hope they're not a complete hand hate deck. Let's hope they don't do that again, because I'd like to, like I said, get the queen down, and then we can start getting a crazy amount of value after our 4th land drop. And it's duress. That's fine. That's complete waste. They just saw my hand. They thought maybe I drew into a non-creature spell, or it just might have been the only thing they had to play. All right, get on in there. No instant speed, 1-mana reds. So no play with fires, nothing like that. Queen Kayla gets down on the field. I'm really hoping for that 4th land drop, because then I can get the Cavalier down and get a fresh new hand. Well, a fresh new card. The discard didn't help. All right. That goes over the top. Yeah, not a lot here. I think this is the only thing I really have to play here. Let's get in with this. Get in with this. That'll do. They probably will block. Oh, they don't. I was going to say they probably will block to get the card draw, but they actually choose not to. Very surprising. Still hoping for that 1 land. It's not as good of a pull here to get the initiate down and then an extra card, but it still could be worth it. Plus, we get another Queen Kayla down, which would come in and, you know, be on tapped, which would help a little bit. All right, that'll work. Let's do it. Here we go. Start activating the value train. Nice. We get 2 good cards. Playing both of these, like I said, because then the Queen Kayla is now on tapped. It makes a good block. They're starting to see the value in this card, and it looks like they may have a cut down, but they also could just be the blood tokens that are triggering the priority hold. But I hope not. I hope not. You know, cut down. That'd be pretty bad. Attack, attack. And let's see how they block here. I'm willing to trade with the bloodthirsty, you know, blood tithe harvester, but no, that's not what they want to do, huh? All right. All right, starting next turn. I mean, do I want to go with the adversary just to pump the whole squad and get that over with, or do we want to play the queen's ability again? That's a tough decision. I think I want to go with the adversary just to pump the squad up. The harvester's annoying because it can pull its, you know, ability to kill something at any time on their turn, which would be annoying. Yeah, they're gonna go for it. I guess that's fine though. If they're going for the Queen Kayla, which they are, that makes my adversary even an easier option to make that play. So makes my job a little easier. My decision making doesn't have to be so tough. All right, let's do it. Let's just pump the whole squad. swing through. Hopeful Initiate's going to train too, which is helpful. And at any point too, I could use the 3 mana to blow up some sort of artifact or enchantment, which is really important in this matchup. They definitely did not tap the mana right there. I understand that we would have taken 1 damage, but they should have absolutely prioritized the other way around so I could play the Initiate as well. But I may, you know, end up regretting that if they end up having a sweeper. So maybe it was the right thing that it tapped that land. But we had enough mana to play that, pump it, and get the Initiate down. But all right, that's a good sign. That's a bit of a desperation move with spot removal. Not hitting the right creature, in my opinion, either. You want to take out the adversary because it's the thing that's, you know, providing the whole squad with extra power. This looks like it's going to be a nice win for us. We're still at 18. Would have been so nice, though, to be attacking him with that extra Initiate this turn, but of course. Auto Tapper had to do its thing. Got to keep an eye on that from now on. All right, get in there. Gonna gain 4 life here too, which is so helpful. Going back to 20, they just eat it. They say, you know what, we're done. That's fine. Awesome, that'll work. That will work. Geez, back to 20. That was a perfect game. Top 1600. We're getting there. We're getting there. Man, I don't normally like playing aggro, but some of these aggro decks are really cool. I like playing different types of aggro. You know, like. I don't really like playing the same aggro everyone else is playing. Like Soldiers doesn't really interest me right now because of how many people play it. But this card right here has really been standing out to me, man. This is the card that really inspired the whole deck. I wanted to build around it so bad. It's such a cool idea. And we've had some games where it just really pops off for us. So I'm hoping we can get another one of those games where we just keep unloading our entire hand and going so wide. All right, this is an Orzhov colors showing, which means Thalia should be really good. We'll see. I'm guessing blue as well. What's Mardu? Fellow Mardu gang, huh? A Mardu mob action? No instant speed. I love that. I don't always love having the Devastator in hand every time I have a queen, though. That seems so weird that always seems to happen to me. Fable the Mirror Breaker queued up right about now. Okay, or in a braid. I guess that makes my Devastator a little better because I'll play it out now, at least. Play it out for the 3. Do I want to go? Yeah, let's do it. Let's play it out for the 3. Let's just keep that pressure high. Keep it going. 5 damage a turn is something that they really have to address, so they better hope they have more removal because the Fable the Mirror Breaker is not going to quite get it done, especially because Thalia's got the first strike. And I forgot Fable would have cost 4, so there's a reason why it didn't come down that last turn. That was on me. That was a hasty call out on the Fable. It is getting a bit warm in here. Let's turn the fan up a little bit. There's the Fable for 4. We knew that was coming down. Like I said, though, not that big of a threat. I don't like that we keep drawing lands, though. That is really hurting my case right now. Hopefully the Benalia, though, gets us the scrying and can find our way out of this mess. This would not be a problem if we had our queen. If we had our queen, we'd be, you know, emptying this hand out for a fresh set of cards. They're really thinking about this. I do wonder if they're a reanimation deck or not. They are at 8 life though. Wow, okay, that is odd. To throw away 2 cards that would kill, you know, wow, that's interesting. Why would you throw those away? Those are such great answers to our board. I don't know. There's really no reason for us not to block this. I have the ability to go indestructible and I do not need these lands. So they are very dispensable to us. Let's get rid of 1. Make that block. They have to have something. There's no way they throw away both of these. Go for the throw. I mean, making them cost 3 for the opponent, I can see there being a case as to why they wouldn't want them in hand. They're pretty inefficient, but if you just spend the 3 to kill the Thalia, you're only going to need to spend the 2 to kill, let's say, the Devastator on the follow-up, and you have the mana to do it with that treasure you just created, and it would only leave me with the Banala. So I'm very confused why they did that. They've got to have something bigger and badder, but at this point, the Benalia is indestructible, so if it's like a Path of Peril or something like that, we're still okay. That's a problem, I can't lie. It's a pretty big problem. That is a beast card, man. Holy cow. Not bad. We cannot catch a break, though. My goodness. Breaks are not given to us today, huh? All right, let's go ahead and scry 2. Oh, both of these are so good. I guess we go with the Devastator first. All right, they eat the 5 damage going to 7. We end our turn. And we get another big Devastator in, which could catch them off guard. If they don't try to remove anything off my board here, and they just try to gain the 3 life and bank off of that, getting them back into this game, there's a chance we surprise attack them here over the top for lethal. Leaving it back, I see. I have the 5/5 flyer. Okay, so they're gonna flash in the Wandering Emperor, which is annoying. I do wonder what they're gonna take, though. Gosh darn it, it's gotta be the banana. Yeah, darn it. Not ideal. All right, well then let's go ham with this. Let's make it a full 6-powered creature here. 6-powered creature. What do we do? Because if we attack here and here, they block here, obviously. Just gaining an extra 3 for no reason. Do we attack the Wandering Emperor is really my question here. Do we attack the Wandering Emperor or do we attack their face? It's got to be face, right? It's got to be. Wandering Emperor gives the 1/1 though to the Archangel of Wrath, which, you know, only helps their cause in gaining life, but I don't know. The Baird is a good card too, but I wish the Baird was like a Brutal Cathar or something, but I couldn't, you know, risk throwing a card like the Baird down to the bottom of our deck when it could potentially be a pretty solid card for us, you know? This really doesn't help either that the Reflection of Kiki-Jiki's on the field, which means we can copy the Archangel of Wrath, gaining 6 life a turn. You know, not good. Not good, my friends. Another flyer that can get in my way, but this one at least is only a 4, you know, 4 toughness, but it could get the 6 powered from the Wandering Emperor. Dang, there's just so many things they can do here. They've got a really powerful board right now. Like, this board is really disgusting.
Show them how we greet our enemies.
Yep, they give the vigilance. Not to mention that they could just copy it with the Reflection of Kiki-Jiki to do a block as well. This is not going our way, ladies and gentlemen. Not going our way. I think what I need to do is just slow the pace down slightly here. Just pass the turn, go a little bit more defensively, and hope that our top decks provide some sort of exiling effect with, you know, Brutal Cathar or whatever it may be. Oh, brother, we were so close. We were so close. Mardu is one of the better things you can be playing right now. I'm telling you guys, I made a deck on Mardu not that long ago, and we absolutely smashed the ladder with it. So this is not surprising to me that they're doing as well as they are. That's a pretty interesting choice, though, to go ahead and copy the Steel over the Angel. The Angel's got the lifelink. You would think you'd go that route, but I mean, the value train here for them is wild. We're in trouble.
Strike fast and strike hard.
Yep, this is gonna go sideways on us now. Lifelink, First Strike, and Vigilance. Just absolutely mowing us over. And a 5/4. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, there's really no point in swinging in with the 5/4, but they're going to lose it anyway, so they're going to send it through. This would have been a really good game for us, though, had we gotten the, what is it? What am I trying to say here? Olenbach. Olenbach would have been a really good card, because we could have been exiling these creatures as they came out, but it is what it is. No worries. Still, not a bad game against a very, very strong opponent. On to the next one. Yeah, Mardu is just super legit, man. That Archangel Wrath is a beast. It's a beast of a card. I think we have time for one or two more here, though. Let's see if we can get these wins here, man. We're so close to just cracking those numbers, like the real numbers, the top 1500, you know. All right, we've got a pretty interesting start here. I think I can keep this. I have, you know, Kumano on turn 1. Anytime you have Kumano on turn 1, you've got to keep it, right? What in the world? Mishra's Research Desk. Sacrifice this desk, exile top 2 cards of your library. Choose one of them until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. That's something. All right, so it looks like we are going to get a Thalia on turn 2 here, which is really good, I think, compared to what we're playing here. This is some sort of weirdness for sure, and the opponent probably playing, obviously, some non-creature spells. So them having to pay extra is going to be helpful. All right, that doesn't necessarily get them that ability off the research, does it? It does not. Okay, that's good. That's good. Let's get this down. I'm actually super stoked on this hand. We might actually get a really, really big Queen Kayla if we find another land off the top here, because we have 1, 2, and a 3 drop. So let's hope for the best here. The opponent looking to remove the Thalia, I would imagine. Yep, they do. Had to pay a little extra for it, though, so I like that. All right, cool. They don't attack with the construct first, which would have been worse. So that's good. All right, we are looking for that land, though. We got to find it. Let's hope for the best here. That 4th land drop. We need it. Come on. Come on. We need this. Wow, they give up their construct, too, to stop the anvil from doing its thing. So I'm okay with that. Let's hope they don't have removal for the queen, though. They do. We have a backup, though. They can't remove it forever. They cannot remove this forever, and that's fine. I mean, yeah, just keep throwing these things at me. Unload your hand. It's fine. It's all good. All right, we didn't find a land anyway, so it is what it is. All right, they still have the ability to sack their own anvil here, which is what's holding priority at the moment. 2 cards left now. Let's see what they do. Looks like they may unearth this. No, they don't. Whenever they cast a non-creature spell, they create a 1/1 soldier artifact. Another anvil, okay. Creates the soldier, which is an artifact, so they can sack it with the anvil. It's actually a pretty cool combo. That's a pretty cool combo. They sack their own anvil? That's confusing. But we did just find our 4th land drop. This is going to be a really, really good turn for us here. My goodness. Oh, this is going to be so good. Which ones we want? We obviously want this. What's the 3 drop? I think Olenbach is just a better card in the long run for exiling things, obviously. And we end our turn. I'd say that was a pretty healthy turn right there for us. Not to mention we have the adversary coming down next turn to pump the squad. And we can snap up that Shieldred with the Olenbach, so that's fine. It is a really good card, though, for them to hit, which makes me sad that they hit such a great card, but it's all good. No great attacks for them here. I would imagine they're just going to leave it be. All right, we draw a card. We drop down the adversary. We pump the squad. We attack in. We are going to enlist here. And attack here for sure. And... I mean, do we send everybody? We probably send everybody, right? Like so. Not bad. Not a bad turn at all. And we definitely don't want another land. But no, yeah, I think we can do better. I think we can do better. I hope we didn't just push that to the bottom and, you know, end up getting a land here. Ooh, that was a turn and a half, huh? That is how you do it. All right, so they could, though, you know, in theory, double and triple up on the Olenbach here to get back their Shieldred, but they would end up losing a lot of permanents for that. So that was not the right idea because I have the ability to go indestructible here. So not the smartest move on the opponent's part. All right. Very productive turn for us. The opponent now top decking. Got to imagine we're close to closing this thing out. Yes, yes. We love it. Why sack it with that though? That's my thing. It's like, why not sack it with its own ability to go find yourself some card advantage? I don't quite understand that play. The opponent though is toast. We're gonna take 2 here, but the intrepid adversary going to be able to steal their last construct here, and that'll just about do it. Let's enlist. Send you. 4 attackers, enlist you. Boom, boom, boom. Steal you. And I don't need another one of those. Send those both away. It should be lethal. I didn't count though. Oh yeah, well, one lethal. Perfect. -5. Let's go. That was a huge game, and I'm super stoked that I got to showcase how the Queen Kayla works so well in this build, man. That was the most perfect Queen Kayla I could have asked for right there. That was money. That is going to conclude today's gameplay portion of the video. We are going to talk about the deck and show you guys exactly what's in it and how we built it. But before I do that, I wanted to give you guys a huge shout out, because if you hear the sound of my voice, that means you made it to the end of the video, which helps out an absolute ton with the YouTube algorithm. So thank you for sticking around. I appreciate that so very much. With that being said, though, let's take a dive into today's list and see what's going on here. So again, Queen Kayla, the build around here, an absolute beast and powerhouse of a card that I've been looking at for a while. And you know, the moment I saw this thing, I was like, man, aggro just got a huge value update for sure, because the fact that you can unload 3 creatures onto the battlefield for a total mana cost of 6 when you're only paying 4 for them, and then on top of that maybe drawing 4 fresh cards, is pretty insane. Obviously a lot has to go perfect for that to happen exactly that way, but we made a deck that I believe works really well around this ability, and when it does hits pretty consistently, you know, for almost full value. And because of that, we have only permanents that are valued 1, 2, and 3. I do believe this deck will get better even along the road, because we'll get some better 1-drops, because Shivian and Kumano don't exactly synergize spot on with this deck, but at the same time, they still have some synergies built into them that help a lot. Kumano obviously can't be put onto the battlefield with Queen Kayla, which is why it doesn't make a ton of sense. And Shivian can only be chosen as a 1-drop creature to be placed on the battlefield if, let's say, we have an adversary already on the field pumping the squad up, because then it will come in as a 1/1, but otherwise it would just die right away. So aside from those 2 missed, you know, synergy opportunities, the rest of the deck works perfectly. We got a Baird, you know, in the deck, which is going to be the secondary win con source here, because, you know, it's going to be hard to deal with these 1/1 spitting out every single turn, and especially when we are as aggressive as we are. So Baird was the next card I wanted to focus heavily on, and because we have Baird, we wanted to make sure we had a lot of modification stuff. So that's why the Shivian and the Kumano made it into the deck, because Kumano obviously with its Saga level 2 can give our creature 1/1 counter when it comes in, which if you play that and then follow it with the Baird, it's pretty busted. And then not to mention Shivian can come down at any point in the game for any amount of mana, and then that triggers the Baird as well. Now we also have Hopeful Initiate, Olenbach, because we want the training mechanics. Not to mention we see a lot of aggro right now, so Olenbach being able to exile a bunch of things could be really helpful in a mirror sort of aggro matchup. I went with Guardian of Banala because this thing can also be pumped up through its enlist ability, triggering the Baird, and also scrying, and, you know, giving indestructibility is no joke either. So a very hard card to deal with for the opponent. Intrepid Adversary obviously to pump the whole squad in the late game. I went with Thalia because the only sort of spells we have in this deck that are not creatures is Kumano, which is not a big killer. If we play out, you know, a Thalia and then turn 3 we draw a Kumano, we can pay the 2 mana, not a big deal. So I thought Thalia was a great way to slow the pressure of the opponent down. And then also Sunrise Cavalry comes in with haste, which can attack in, triggering these training mechanics pretty easily because of its, you know, power and toughness being 3. And then lastly, we have a Brutal Cathar, another card just to kind of slow the pace of the game, tempo out the opponent, take away their threats while we're still pounding the opponent to death with going wide enough. So that's pretty much it though, guys. The deck again, performed very well. Obviously getting us to the top 1700 is no joke. I think it's pretty cool. There are some adjustments obviously I think could be made to this deck to make it a little bit better. We have no like removal in this deck. You could add burn spells, removal spells like Fateful Absence, things like that you could look into. But again, I think I'd rather go with the Thalia package and go full on creatures and not focus too much on those types of things. But you could cut Thalia and then add those types of things into the deck to add those removal effects to get your creatures through a little bit easier. But I think with just the Olenbach in the Brutal Cathar, in my opinion, it was enough to kind of answer the threats that were problematic, get these things through, and try to kill them before turn 5 or 6. So yeah, had a lot of fun. Queen Kayla was a blast, and this week of Magic is going to be an absolute blast, guys. We've got a lot of really cool decks coming up your way. We have an Esper Flash deck. We've got Bant, a Bant token list that runs Clay Champion. What else do we got? We have we have a Sultai deck coming out tomorrow, and it's all about big baddie creatures, big stompy creatures. It is really, really cool. But yeah, really fun week ahead of us. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy this week's videos, and I hope you enjoyed this one today. If you made it this far, again, thanks for all of the support. And before I get out of here, huge shout out to the Marty Mob. If you guys don't know, the Marty Mob is the membership program here on the channel. So these, typically I have their names on the screen, but we're going through a little phase where I'm trying to figure that out. But these people help support the channel through their monthly memberships. So I got to give a shout out to anyone out there who's a member of the Marty Mob and say thank you from the bottom of my heart for everything you do for me. I do appreciate that so very much. And with that being said though, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow on the next one. Until next time, peace out.
Hit him 3 times like a hat trick. The name is Swayze, no Patrick. If you play him, then it's tragic. Hit him with the Mythic, yeah, that's magic. MTG, that's what you'll see if you like and subscribe. With the upload, man, all of the time. Coming with the best decks to the meta. This ain't cheap, yeah.